Alberto Contador is an innocent man. In September of 2010, Contador tested positive for the drug clenbuterol, which is very illegal. And nearly a full year later, he was still allowed to ride the 2011 Tour de France because the UCI is sometimes prone to just a little bit of incompetence, despite the fact that clearly, as the man said himself, the positive test result was due to him eating contaminated steak. I mean, this is clearly achievable from someone who is not on drugs. Which leads to the question, who drugged the cow that Contador ate, leading to him failing the drugs test? There are a few contenders. First of all, his fierce rival, Andy Schleck, who would come second to him in 2009 and the 2010 Tour de France, and clearly had the most to gain from him being disqualified, because it directly led to him winning the 2010 Tour de France as a result of Contador being stripped. Very suspicious. Second of all is his former teammate, Lance Armstrong, who not only is the most prolific doper in cycling history, but also in the said 2009 Tour de France was supposed to be the team leader of Alberto Contador, with Contador supposed to be riding to help Lance win the Tour, but Alberto had other ideas and attacked him multiple times, ending up winning the Tour for himself, which understandably Armstrong was not very happy about. So he had plenty of reason to try and get revenge on Contador. And also, as the biggest doper in cycling history, he clearly knew a lot about drugs, so would know exactly how to poison the cow in such a way that eating the steak from said cow would result in Contador failing a drugs test. The next suspect is British rider Sir Bradley Wiggins, who came fourth in the 2009 Tour de France behind Contador, Schleck and Armstrong. However, the 2012 Tour de France is what he really had his eyes on, due to the fact that it had over 100 kilometers of time trialing, in which Andy Schleck was a bit shit. Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C, Exhibit D. So with Armstrong retired as well, Alberto Contador was the only real contender who could stop him from winning the 2012 Tour de France, and with Contador beating Wiggins in 3 of the 4 time trials in previous years. So if Bradley Wiggins could get Contador out of the Tour, and then he would be the favourite to win. He also has his own doping allegations, and being from Wigan, you'd imagine he knows his way around a cow pretty well. He also had made an agreement with his teammate Chris Froome that in return for Froome helping him win the 2012 Tour de France, Wiggins would help Froome win the 2013 Tour de France. But Bradley Wiggins refused to ride the 2013 Tour, presumably because he was too ashamed to come face to face with Contador, who was riding that race, knowing that he was the one who had drugged him in the first place, causing him to be banned for 2 years. And if that's not enough to convince you, do these look like the sideburns of an innocent man? I mean, this should be a crime within itself. Now lastly, the final suspect is not necessarily a man, but rather the entire nation of Kazakhstan, who were the owners of the Astana team that Alberto Contador won the Tour de France for in 2009 and 2010. However, instead of continuing at this team that he'd brought so much success for, Alberto Contador instead abandoned them and for the 2011 season signed for their close rivals Saxo Bank. Now, understandably, Astana were not too pleased about this. Now, during my research for this video, I found out that the Kazakhstan cow population fell by 10 million between the 1990s and 2010, which can only be as a result of the Kazakhstani government experimenting on ways that they could inject various drugs into cows in order to make the eaters of those cows fail drugs tests so that they could get revenge on any athletes who wronged them. And now, with Alberto Contador leaving them and being in direct opposition with their new leader, Kazakhstani international Alexander Vinokurov, who had previously placed on the podium in the Tour de France, it was in Astana's best interest to remove him from the race so that they had the best possible chance of winning and to right the wrongs that Contador had done against them by abandoning them. But despite all of this evidence, the UCI still ended up banning Contador, even though he was clearly framed. So who do you think was the one responsible? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe. Big thank you to Audi for providing this trolley with me to record in today. And I'll see you in the next video.